Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another video. Today we have our final video going over new archetypes coming out in Ultimate Squad. And today we're talking about the new Gamma deck coming out for the Dragon Ball Superhero movie. This archetype looks real cool. We'll talk about it in the video. But first of all, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss a video. And if you guys want to help support the channel, many ways down in the description you can do so. But today, guys, if you want to buy or pre-order any of the cards we discussed in today's video, use my link in the description to TCG Player. Really does help out a lot. Also, links down there to pre-order Dragon Ball Super and One Piece product through our sponsor, Mystic TCG. Anyways, let's get started talking about the leader. We have Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. This is a Android Red Ribbon Army leader, and it's also tagged as Gamma 1, Gamma 2 Superhero. So note that if any more Gamma stuff comes out in the future and it's not tagged that could be relevant. But anyways, we have Unawakened Side permanent. You can't use non-Red Ribbon Army card skills to place cards in your energy. Now, this permanent right off the bat has been a point of contention. This really only applies to cards that can have special traits. So this does not apply to extra cards and unisons as far as I am aware. Theoretically, you could play Zeno Unison in this deck and use it to ramp, but then you wouldn't be able to use the Awakened Leader's ability because Zeno restricts you from adding cards to your energy via skills. It's kind of a whole big thing, but basically you can experiment with some unisons and some extra cards that could potentially add cards to your energy. But you'll have to face the restrictions of whatever those cards have, right? Anyways, continuing the effect of the Unawakened Side, when this card attacks, draw 1. Awaken your life 4 or less, or you have a blue unison card with a specified cost of 2 in play, draw 1 card, untap 1, and take life down to 6. Then we have the Awakened Side permanent. You can't use non-Red Ribbon Army card skills to place cards in your energy. Auto, when a blue card is placed from your energy, or played from energy rather, place the top card of your deck in your energy in rest mode. Notice this is not once per turn, which is actually kind of bonkers. Like, this is the same replacement effect as Android 16 essentially, but you can just play as many battle cards from energy as you're able to per turn, and you get to replace that energy, which is so good. But that is it's a tricky skill to use. We'll talk about that a bit more later. But anyways, auto, add 3 blue Android cards from your energy to your hand. At the end of your turn, draw 1 card, add up to 3 blue Android cards from your hand to your energy, and until the end of your opponent's next turn, you can't activate the skills of non-Android battle cards with energy cost of 7 or less in all areas. Okay, so this restricts you to really only using Android battle cards outside of secret rares like Baby Hatch during your opponent's turn. So you can't really use cards like Heroic Prospect, Godsling Technique Trunks. A lot of the popular blue battle card defensive cards you can't really use, but you can still include them in your deck in some interesting ways. Maybe we'll talk about that a bit more later. But also notice here, the cost for this effect is to add 3 blue Android cards specifically. So if you don't have 3 blue Android cards in your energy, you can't actually even resolve this effect. You need to be real mindful of that. There's some ways that you can get screwed over playing this deck. And again, we'll talk about that more when we get into some of the battle cards. But anyways, let's move on. Android 1718 teaming up. 2-drop 15k, auto once per turn. When a player attacks, add a marker to this card, then use up to 1 mono blue card with 5000 combo power in a combo from your drop area with its skills negated for the turn. Activate main for 2 blue. If your leader card is blue, play this card from your energy with 2 markers on it. And then activate main -4. This card gets plus 10,000 power and dual attack for the turn. This unison is like very okay. The unison that is probably going to be competitively played in this deck is probably going to be the 2-drop hit unison that came out with the Kava deck, I believe, in Saiyan Showdown. So I just want to make you guys all aware of that. This card could be a decent like additional game ender, maybe as like a 1 or 2 of slot. But yeah, I don't really see this being the main unison of choice when there's a unison that draws a card for a +1, and the -1 on hit is also very insane. But anyways, moving along, Android 14 and 15, the Ravager, 2-drop 10k, permanent bond 3, blue androids. This card gets plus 5000 power. I don't think you really ever play this card to the board though. Activate main limit 1. If your leader card is a blue Red Ribbon Army card, you discard this card from your hand. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck, add up to 1 blue Red Ribbon Army card with energy cost of 5 or less, or 1 Android 17 and 18 teaming up among them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. This would have been such a great searcher if it searched generic unisons, but because it specifically searches 17, 18, and if you're not going to play that unison in a competitive build, it's a little bit tough to use this guy. But if you want to play more of a thematic build, you can certainly use this guy and do some pretty cool things. But moving along, Android 20 Energy Absorber, 1-drop 4k, auto. When this card's played, draw 1. Activate main once per turn for 1 blue, 1 green, and 6 more energy, so 8 energy total. Play any number of blue Red Ribbon Army Android battle cards with different card names from your energy. That's a pretty grandiose effect. I don't think you'll really use it again in like the competitive builds of this deck, especially because there's not any real like true ramp in this deck. You got to actually just get turn 8 on, you know, by normal means, but it's still kind of cool, I guess. Again, for thematic purposes, fun local kind of strategy there. Then we have Android 13 Inorganic Horror. We have a 1-drop with Union Absorb for 2 blue. Place an Android 14 and Android 15 card from your hand and or drop under this card. Play up to 1 blue Android 13 with energy cost of 7 from your deck or drop area on top of this card, then shuffle your deck if you look through it. So this is the only Android 13 in the game that applies to this. We'll talk about that in a second. But firstly, I want to make you guys aware of the fact that even though we saw a card that counts as Android 14 and 15, you cannot use that card alone to satisfy the cost of this Union Absorb. Wanted to just make you guys aware of that. If you're newer players, this has been a thing that's been talked about a lot whenever we get new Union Absorb chains, specifically with Android 13, because they oftentimes print cards that count as 14 and 15. You got to use 2 cards, and the one that counts as 14 and 15 can be used as either requirement, but not for both. Hope that makes sense. Anyways, auto, when this card's played, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, add up to 1 blue Red Ribbon Army card with energy cost of 3 or less, or 1 blue Unison with specified cost of 2 and 1 to your hand, then shuffle your deck. So this is kind of like the other counterpart to the 14-15 searcher, but it doesn't search enough of your archetype. Only searching 3 or less means you're missing a real valid search target that we really want to add to our hand. So again, maybe not the best for the competitive version of the deck, but searching any 2-cost Unison, very nice. Android 13 Frenzied Warrior, 7-drop 30k. We have Arrival Blue Green for a blue or a green. Permanent inflicted card is a Red Ribbon Army card. Reduce energy cost of this card in your hand by 1, so you have a free blue-green combo you can use for arriving purposes. Activate battle once per turn for a blue and a green. Place 3 cards from under this card in the owner's drop. Switch card to active mode and it gains double strike for the turn. Not a bad effect by any means, but the biggest problem of this engine is that you have to run all the 14 and 15 and 13 cards, which again I think is just going to be best for like a thematic locals version of the deck, not so much for the most competitive build, but it is a pretty cool engine. This guy though could have used like deflect or barrier possibly. He's a little bit vulnerable to a lot of things. Yeah, just my 2 cents on it. Alright, now we have some pretty good cards to the deck actually. We have Android 15 Inorganic Horror, 2-drop 5k, deflect, counterplay. Play this card. If the battle card being played is energy cost 3 or less, return it to the owner's hand instead. Permanent inflicted card is a blue Red Ribbon Army card. You can activate this card's counter skill from your energy by paying its energy cost, and then permanent bond 3 blue Android. This card gets plus 10,000 power. Not bad. You know, just if the meta calls for it or a certain card needs to be counterplayed within that cost range, it's a good card. Then we have Android 14 Inorganic Horror, 2-drop 15k, counterattack. If the card's a blue Red Ribbon Army Android card and you discard another card from your hand, negate the attack and play this card, then auto if it's your opponent's turn. When this card is played, your opponent can't attack for the turn unless they place 2 cards from their hand at the bottom of their deck each time. So we have an in-archetype Topo Righteous Aid. Very good for this deck, especially considering the fact that your leader untaps 3 per turn for the most part, at least, you know, turn 3 and onward. But yeah, this card is absolutely incredible. Pretty much always going to be good. Yes, there are a lot of floodgates, or rather counterplays that hit this floodgate, especially within red, Vegeta Resolve Renewed, but it's still just a very good card to play. A lot of times you will be able to resolve it. You just gotta be a little bit careful against the decks that are you know, running the counterplays, at least in their main deck. We're gonna finish up this archetype, guys, but real quick, we have a word from today's video's sponsor. Yo, Dragon Ballers, quick break in the video to give a huge shout out to PPG, who is going above and beyond to make our organized play season the best that it can possibly be. I'm here on the PPG event management website. I'm going to link this down in the description, so all you have to do to sign up for any of these events is go down to that link. But anyways, real quick, we have MomoCon at the end of May, where there is a guaranteed case tournament for Dragon Ball Super. Next up is the Origins event, which is a huge one, guys. They have events going from Wednesday to Saturday. Practically every single day of the con, you can play a Dragon Ball Super event, among other card games. It's going to be an absolutely incredible time. Next up, after that, we have an event in Denver, which is for the Pro Play Tour organized season. Not only are you playing for an invite to the Pro Play Invitational, but you're also playing for $2,000 guaranteed. And if you want to, guys, there is also a Team War event in that same weekend, and Team War is one of the best formats to play. If you haven't played a tournament with your friends, you absolutely have to do it. And then finally, an event that I know for sure that I'll be attending is the Too Many Games convention in Philadelphia. This is actually a regional for the regular Dragon Ball Super organized play season. So again, guys, super huge shout out to PPG. Secondly, this website is so awesomely laid out. All you have to do is go to this website. All these different tabs here will take you to the events you want to sign up for. I hope to see you guys there. Let's get back into the video. All right, huge shout out to PPG. As always, let's wrap up the archetype. We have Android 18 Rebellious Will, 3-drop 15k critical. I'm gonna read the auto here once because her and Android 17 have the same auto. If your leader card is a blue Red Ribbon Army card, when this card's played, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, add up to 1 blue Android card among them to your energy and rest mode, then place 1 card from your energy at the bottom of the owner's deck, then shuffle your deck. Main difference between Android 17 and 18 is 18 has critical, 17 has barrier, and they both have the activate main limit 1, pay a blue. If your leader card is a blue Android card, you may play this card from your energy. Okay, so remember before how I was talking about you could potentially screw yourself in this deck? If you're on turn 3, you're awakened and whatnot, you play any card from your energy, really, you run the risk of ramping a non-Android card. Let's be honest, you're not going to play 50 Android cards totally. You're going to play, Senzu Beans, Dimension Magics, other cards that are not quite Androids. So with that, you run the risk of not ramping an Android card, and then you have 3 energy, one of which is not an Android, so you can't use your leader's ability to pick 3 up and put 3 energy down. You won't be able to do that. These cards are really cool in helping that, though, because the way you can order your autos is use your leader to ramp a random energy, and then use these 2 cards effects to look at top 5, place an energy, and then bottom deck whatever energy doesn't work for you, right? So I like these cards a lot for that reason, plus the top 5 search, getting cards in your energy. In this deck, your energy is essentially an extension of your hand, much like Android 16 and much like GT, in the sense that the Unison in GT is an extension of your hand. So these cards help fix that turn 3, which I think is really important. I learned that from playing the deck, wanted to make you guys aware of it. Android 16, hidden power 3, drop 15k, auto spirit boost 1, discard 1 card from your hand. When this card's played, choose up to one of your blue Android cards and gets plus 5,000 power for the turn. This card is really cool. You basically have 8 copies of Senzu Bean in this deck, which is kind of wild. Activate battle, limit 1 for a blue. If your leader card is a blue Red Ribbon Army card and it's your opponent's turn, play this card from your energy. So yeah, incredibly defensive deck, which is really cool and pretty much speaks to what blue wants to do. Now we have the big bombs for the deck and then a random card. I guess we'll read Android 19 first. Counter attack, negate the attack, and play this card. Permanent, if your leader card is a blue Red Ribbon Army card, you can activate this card's counter skill from your energy by paying its energy cost, discarding 1 card from your hand. Not bad. But anyways, Cell, the ultimate bio android. 9 drop, 30k, deflect, dual attack, auto when this card's played from your energy. Choose all your opponent's battle cards and place them at the bottom of the owner's decks. Auto once per turn if this card's in a battle. When your opponent activates a counter attack skill, they place 1 card from the hand at the bottom of their deck, so they get punished for negating this guy's attack. And activate main, limit 2 for a blue, a green, and then 2 energy. Play this card from your hand or energy, and it gains double strike for the turn. And of course, this is going to be one of the best decks to play it from your energy because you'll replace that energy and get the full effect of wiping your opponent's board. It is cool. This is not necessarily limited to this deck only. Any blue or green leader can theoretically play this, but you're going to get the most mileage out of it from playing it in this deck because, again, you get the board wipe ability. Now we have Android 17 and 18, Limitless Energy, which doesn't seem like a crazy card, but it is super, super strong. We have Deflect, Dual Attack, Permanent. If the leader card's a blue Red Ribbon Army card, negate this card's energy exhaust skill in all areas. Auto, when this card is played, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost greater than or equal to their current energy and place it at the bottom of the owner's deck. Activate main, limit 1 for a blue and a green. If your leader card is blue or green, play this card from your hand or energy. Very similar to Cell, just for half the cost. But yeah, this is a 20k dual attacker for 2. Very much in line with like Yellow Trunks Unison, SS3 Gogeta Unison, where you're just getting that real threatening 20k dual attack, and in this case, a turn earlier. And yes, it is a battle card. It doesn't have those same protections that the Unisons have, but it does have Deflect, which is very, very relevant. Still, certainly some counterplays and some things that can interact with this and give it a hard time, but this card is very, very interesting for like some sort of aggressive blue-green type of style. But anyways, we have one more slide to go over here, and that is just results of research. We have a 1-drop activate main, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, add up to 1 Android card among them to your hand, and shuffle your deck. Pretty interesting how it searches any Android. You could play even like Mirror Creator Absorbed and add it to your hand if you really wanted to. But while that is interesting, you don't really want to ramp an off-color card, so keep that in mind. Activate main for 6 energy. If your leader card is an Android or Red Ribbon Army card, you send this card from your drop to your warp, play up to 1 Cell card from your hand, and we have, of course, Perfect for Cell, which was just reprinted in the Cell Ultimate deck, but also you can probably find it from your old Set 2 bulk. But yes, this is a card you can play for 6 off results of research, and it's pretty cool that it is applicable to any Red Ribbon Army and any Android leader, even, you know, old Black Mirror leaders, the Finn leader. There's just some really cool things you can do with this if you really wanted to get creative. But anyways, guys, that's the archetype in a nutshell. I've been playing it a bit. I really, really like it. I've been enjoying playing it, but I think it's going to take quite some time to master because, again, there are a lot of tricks, like I mentioned before, where you could easily end up screwing yourself, and you got to really take time to practice it. But I've really been enjoying it. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.